afternoon, everybody. Well, actually, it's good late morning here in Sussex County, Delaware. We currently are under a winter storm watch. We could see anywhere from 6 to 18 inches of snow, depending upon what model you are following. Um, my guess is I think we could get anywhere from 8 to 14 inches of snow with a prolonged period of icing, which could be sleet and or freezing rain. And then we can turn back over to snow. The storm is looking like it's getting larger, more impactful, and more moisture accompanying this storm. The storm could last into Monday with moderate to light snow for a significant period of time for additional accumulation. So this winter storm is going to be something very high impact for the mid-Atlantic, Maryland, DC, Virginia, Baltimore, Delaware, and so now is the time to prepare. Now is the time to get ready for this storm. It can be very high impact storm, and the storm is going to not be all snow, unfortunately. And for us snow lovers, that's something that is frustrating to me because I love snow so much. In this particular storm, with the early chatter in the week, was that the high pressure to the north could suppress the storm and keep it to the south, which is actually a good thing for Delaware for snow lovers because a southern slider still brings significant snows as far north to the Georgetown, Milton, Dover areas. And it keeps DC in flurries or just overcast and cold while we're getting the snow here. It's no longer a southern slider. This unique setup does involve two low pressures, one from the north and one from the south. Technically, what there's not telling you is that the northern jet and the subtropic jet are going to come together to create this storm. That's where you get an abundant amount of moisture. And if the high pressure to the north, which is an NAO block, I think, if I have my terminology correct, isn't as strong as first thought, obviously, with this northern trend that puts pretty much central Virginia, extreme southern Delaware in a very high, severe risk of icing. If the high pressure to the north was a little stronger or moved a little quicker and suppressed the storm from moving this far north and kept it so that the sleet and freezing rain and plain rain were from the Virginia, North Carolina border south and east. That is not happening. There could be significant icing in the Richmond, in the Norfolk, Virginia Beach area, even into just south of Fredericksburg, into southern Maryland, and into the Delmarva Peninsula, and then lower Delaware and South Sussex County could see severe icing and sleet, which isn't the best case scenario because it's going to have snow. Then we're going to have a layer of sleet, possible icing with freezing rain. And if those locations turn just to rain, if the temperatures do rise above freezing, you're going to then have a thick layer of snow with rain, which is very impactful to structures, which will add a lot of weight, which could create trees to fall down, structures to collapse. So please be aware of that and be prepared to remove snow from these roofs and things that are going to be impacted with the amount of sleet, freezing rain, and possible rain. The storm will return back to cold, which will transition back to freezing rain and sleet for a brief period of time before ending as snow. Now, the backside of the storm could be significant, and it could be light to moderate snow for a good period of 6 to 10 hours. So they're not telling you the accumulations on Monday. All in all, this storm could bring multiple days of accumulating snow with a period of freezing rain, sleet, and plain rain. So you could have anywhere from 6 inches to a foot of snow, then have sleet and freezing rain, and then on top of that, have rain, and then more snow on top of that. So it's not going to be a pretty situation considering the moisture that's involved. And sadly, it's not snow. And with the Arctic temperatures being like in DC, I think the high is going to be 19 or 20 degrees. Whatever snow falls there is going to be fluffy, stick immediately, very little melting. That's easy snow to deal with. Once that transitions to sleet and freezing rain, you're going to get a layer of thick ice on top of that snow, and then more snow on top of that. That is the concern that I have for the immediate mid-Atlantic is the extreme sleet. Extreme sleet are what some weather outlets are advertising. Extreme sleet. So think of a thunderstorm in the summer and the heavy rain, but think of every single droplet frozen. That is some severe sleet and significant icing. And the ice appreciation outlook just south of where I'm living in Milton and over down in southern Maryland and southern Virginia is up to 1.5 inches of ice appreciation. That is incredible. That will create power outages. That could create trees falling down. That could really make an impact on travel. I don't foresee people being on the road until well after Monday, if not Tuesday. Again, temperatures are going to be in the mid-20s. So none of this is melting. So the removal of it will be delayed only because there's no melting along with the removal. And we don't have, I do not see on my weather app or the outlets I follow, we may not get above freezing for 10 days after this storm. That is crazy. And there is this chance of a storm at the end of the month, at the end of the period where we've been below freezing all the time. So it's winter. I just wish we could have snow, just all snow. You could use a damn leaf blower, even if it was 18 to 20 inches, and you wouldn't have to shovel. Speaking of shoveling, for those who are elderly, old, injured, and or have health issues, don't shovel. Find someone to help you, or if you have to, do it every 3 hours. Don't wait to the end. And don't wait to the end to pay someone to go through that bullshit. That is torture. Lifting 25 pounds with each shovel. My back is screaming over that right now. Take the time to get prepared now. Medications. Make contingency plans if you have health issues and schedule a four-wheel drive, a truck who can assist you. Food. If you have 10 rolls of toilet paper, you don't need another 24 pack. Okay? Settle the fuck down. You mostly poop 3 times a day. You don't use a whole roll for 3 poops. So, and even if you have 10 people in the house, I think 10 rolls will get you through 3 or 4 days. I mean, really. And then you get milk. So anything perishable, don't get, because if you have a power outage, that milk will sour. Use your brain. Too many people panic. You're not going to die. We'll get through this. So chill the fuck out. Get non-perishables and or get something that you can bake early so that you can indulge in the height of it. Have candles, flashlights, batteries, charge all your electronics to maximum on Saturday night. Have water, clean water to drink in case something happens with the water. I don't know, but just in case. But non-perishables and baking early on so you have comfort foods until your power may go out. Do that. Also, make sure that if you have a heat pump, you clean all the registers out or the actual air unit out. Make sure you have a path to that to clean that out so it doesn't freeze. Sub pumps. I have a sub pump. It usually doesn't pump during, snows or anything, but I'm covering that up and making sure I have access to it if there's something that happens. God forbid. But I'm definitely going to keep that protected. Fill your gas tanks. For those who have generators, make sure you place the generators in a location that won't get you carbon monoxide. Make sure you put your generators in a location that won't create electrical fires or fires. Um, and most of all, be kind to everybody. I mean, stop driving on the road like a maniac. I used to know this person and he drove like a shitbag. And I'm so glad I'm not friends with him anymore because I could have died. The bitch would drive between stoplights up to 60 miles an hour. I'm like, bitch, you should be getting a ticket and in jail. Ugh. I'm so glad I don't have that asshole in my life anymore. But anyway, back to the weather. Big winter storm, high impact. This could be as impactful as the blizzard of 96 in terms of being stuck at home and being immobile because of the snow. So stay off the roads. And if you have an SUV, quit fucking driving 80 miles an hour in the left lane. It's ridiculous. You blame Outlanders and you can't drive. Anyway, I'm tangenting. Winter storm watch. I would say anywhere from 6 to 18 inches of snow, also depending where the transition line goes, because just above the transition line will be heavy, heavy snow. Then further, you have the mesoscale banding, which will, if you land in one of those and they just hover right over you, you could have snowfall rates of 1.5 to 2 inches an hour. And if it sits there, then you're going to have a little bit more snow than the rest of someone else in the next city over or county over. Actually, not here in Delaware. We only have 3 counties, but the next city over. Again, make preparations today, tomorrow, hunker down, and you're going to be stuck with your partner, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, your children. Why don't you make an attempt to do things to bond? Get to know your children, what's bothering them, and don't criticize them. And if they tell you something deep, just support them. This is a great time to rekindle those relationships. This is a great time to bond with people. This is a great time to reconnect with people on the phone. This is a great time to catch up on your home chores, to clean that drawer out, to do something, to go through the the dresser and get rid of clothes. It's a great time to watch movies. When can you just settle in and watch a movie? And then, put some clothes on, your winter clothes on, and go do some shoveling, come back in, have some food, watch another movie, wrap up in blankets, enjoy the time. Instead of thinking of winter storms as how horrific they are and the dangers, maybe this is God's way, nature's way of saying, chill the fuck out. Chill out. Go home, look at what you have, appreciate what you have, and roll with it. You're not gonna, why get in an attitude and get mad and feel bitchy and become an asshole because you don't like it? You're living in an area where it occurs. I find it, I just find it ridiculous when someone doesn't like winter and they bitch about it, but they don't do anything about it. Move your ass away. If you don't like winter that much, move away. People torture themselves. I don't like winter. Move away. Other than that, you have to deal with it. Shit like this happens. So instead of crying about it, embrace it. It's the Lord's way of saying, take a time out and enjoy your home, enjoy your family, get to know your partner, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. Reconnect with people who bring you joy. Reconnect with people who are valuable in your life. Recently, I've been struggling with that, I'm exiting people out of my life. But it's a perfect time now with this thunderstorm, with this snowstorm, to take a breath and be grateful that you are in a home, that you have a home, that you're warm, and that even if things go bad, you have the ability to take action to correct that or to make the situation at least palatable until the situation can correct itself. Okay? You can't do anything about it. So stop bitching about it and take action and embrace. Play video games. I'm not a video gamer, and I really don't respect or really care for people who play video games 5 hours a day. If you're unemployed or retired, have at it. Other than that, this is the time where video games get a get out of jail free pass for me. There's plenty of time to play video games. But instead of being in your studio doing something by yourself or online with some other people in parts of the country or the world, why don't you bring your family in and play with your family? Appreciate what you have. This is a huge winter storm. There could be injuries, deaths, and everything in any storm. But prepare now, because this storm continues to trend uglier, even though we're not getting more snow. So, and we could get more snow. The interesting thing and what people aren't telling you is that the high pressure to the north, okay, it isn't right now currently keeping the storm. I don't think a more northerly trend will occur, meaning there won't be a prolonged period of time in Sussex County of its temperature being 34, 35 with heavy rain. I don't see that. That far northerly trend, I don't see that. Could it also trend another 50, 75 miles further south, putting Sussex County in the 12 to 20 range? Yes. That would be a little better because, again, it's a cold system with all snow, and it's not going to be difficult to shovel. But anyway, I'm hoping that the storm trends a little more south, that we get more snow, less ice and rain, freezing rain. Again, this storm could be very impactful. So take precautions now, and just embrace it. Stay at home, and have fun. You can work out at home. Take time to work out at home. I follow this guy on Facebook who does workouts, and so I'm going to do 2 workouts in those 3 days with him. Anyway, again, right now, winter storm watch, 8 to 12 inches of snow in Sussex County likely, with heavier amounts with the mesoscale banding and heavier amounts as the transition line gets closer to us. Sleet and rain, freezing rain, are possible the further south and east you go. In fact, the immediate coastline just south of Rehoboth, Dewey, Bethany, what's the Maryland beach? Ocean City. They could literally get into just rain, a raw 35-degree day in rain, and you move a mile inland and you're getting pelleted and pounded by sleet. Move 5 miles inland and you're in a blinding blizzard. Well, heavy snow. And you go 50 miles west, you ain't moving with the snow. So that's what the immediate effects and predictions are. Again, this 8 to 12 inches is from Saturday evening, 10 p.m. to Sunday morning, 8 to 10 p.m. before the sleet moves in, if it does, and or the freezing rain. After that, we could have a prolonged period of freezing precipitation, such as freezing rain and sleet, before late Sunday evening or early Monday morning, 12 a.m., 1 a.m., we'll turn back over to snow. And we will finish Monday with snow, likely snowing until the afternoon. Not heavy, but not light. Significant accumulations again. So the storm will be very impactful. And again, no temperatures over freezing for up to 10 days after this storm, and another storm at the end of the 10 days, which will then bring the cold air back in, which could create another snowstorm. So just be patient. This is winter, people. This is a normal winter. Be prepared, be safe, and check us out. I'm one half of two guys. My name is Robert. My nickname is Minerva, and I'm part of the Minerva Weather Studios on Facebook, and I'll be posting live videos early in the storm because I'm not going to be out driving in ice. I want everybody to be safe. Leave comments and messages, and we'll get to them as we can. So please be safe. More weather updates to come. Live feed from inside the storm, or not inside it, but outside in the storm in the first 12 hours of it. After that, I will be not reporting live because I'm going to be at home. And please be safe. All right, everybody. Have a great day.